Hello guys, welcome back to another all around so rare episode. So today guys, we're going to go through our top 10 bargain buys for the MLS season. This is in classic and the prices will be shown in limited and rare as well. So the first player, I think Cap, you've got it up on screen.
I have
Who've we got?
indeed, my friend. We are starting with Pedro Galice. Now, this is someone that you guys should know by now because me and Jonesy on the last video, make sure to check that out, have run this guy's name ragged because we are non-stop about that Orlando defensive stack. So we've gone for Pedro Galice. And I just wanted to show you guys as well, limited pricing. We're talking about just under £5, which is solid for a goalkeeper in the Classic. And then in rare, we got him for 36.
Yeah, so if we look at his scores, boys, it's pretty heavy on the old decisive section for a goalkeeper in the MLS. 11 clean sheets, 2 penalty saves, a last man tackle, and then obviously he's got 50 games played, which isn't all MLS, but I'll leave that for a second. Yeah, I think probably I would say is the best value for money goalkeeper on the platform for MLS. When you scroll through his scores, there's a lot of dark greens, light greens, and goalkeepers in the MLS don't tend to do as well as other leagues. It's not a strong goalkeeper heavy, unfortunately, in the MLS. The defenses just aren't there. So I think this is probably the best one for scoring wise. Well, as Cap said, £4.95 in classic and £36 in rare.
All right guys, looking at the fixtures as well, Philadelphia coming up as their first matchup, and that's going to be pretty difficult. But the following game week, you've got Toronto at home, which is just one of those target fixtures. You want to play your best team in that. Pedro Galice also plays the national team, so look out for the World Cup qualifiers and any other international utility coming up. Make sure you've got other players to go with that as well.
Exactly. And then what we'll do, guys, so now defenders, we all agreed. Obviously, we had to choose from a whole list of players. Again, we dwindled it down to the 10 as obviously Ellis alluded to at the start of this video. But now we've gone to Escobar as our first of 2 defenders in this list. Yeah, so we're sitting at limited price just under £2, which I believe is just a bit of a bargain. And also in rare, just under £8.
Yeah, and when you're wanting to go for a podium, what's the most important thing, guys? It's peak scores every time. It doesn't matter how often they hit them, even though looking at Escobar scores, he hits them fairly often. He's got 2 100s to his name from last season, multiple 80-plus scores. He's in a solid back four with Michael and Dorsey, and I can't remember the third one. I can't remember the third one. We'll get to it. I think it's Fiatchenko, actually. There you go.
There we go.
So yeah, a solid back four. The goalkeeper's a bit iffy, but we'll see how that plays out from the season. There's 2 people competing for the job there, as said on earlier videos. But yeah, I think you just need a peak score, and this guy, as a defender, can give you 100, and he can give you high 90s and 80s, and that's all you really need just for that and the stars to align, and you got yourself a podium there.
Yeah, the boys are absolutely right. I think we all had him down really as one of our players to pick. So Dallas is his first game at home, which is a fairly decent fixture. Then they've got Inter Miami, which is obviously pretty tough. But to be honest, target most of the home fixtures. That's where he gets his best scoring. And like the boys said, yeah, his AA scores are monstrous. So when it gets to the decisive on top, then you're looking for those peaks.
Definitely. So now we're going to go on to the second defender here, guys, because I know you guys are eagerly awaiting who the next one is. Rafael Santos of Orlando City. You might notice a bit of a theme here again with Galice and Santos. Obviously, you compare the two. Again, in the previous video, make sure to check that out and like, comment, and subscribe, of course. But yeah, we're sitting here at the limited pricing, boys, for just £2. And this is why we agreed on him, because it's such good value. And also for the rare, he is sitting a little higher than someone like Escobar, but we do deem it worth it. Again, just under £17 in the rare scarcity.
Yeah, this is our very, very value for money pick, really, as we call it, like the Tesco Best Buy. If you look at these end of season scores and kind of ignore the early parts of the season, he absolutely flourished. He's had multiple 80s, a 90 in there, and again, he's one of those players that, obviously, given a peak value, he could get you a podium. Now, he does have decisives as well, but I think they all came quite near the end of the season. Yeah, 3 out of the 5 decisives came in that run of those 80 and 90 scores. So yeah, he's one of those players that, again, partnering up with Galice, or Galice, however we call him these days. And then what we'll do is we'll get you a podium out of that, and then you're just going to get the midfielders that we're going to recommend in a minute.
Yeah, James is bang on. Definitely try and pair Santos with Galice. That'd be top, especially targeting that Toronto fixture second game week in. His AA scores are ridiculous. but most of the time, I think boys will agree they usually come at home. There's a bit of a theme here in the MLS, so target the home fixtures, and you can thank us later.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. And going into that little Tesco bargain bucket you're talking about earlier, we got Robin Lod here. Obviously, we're going into the first of midfielders. Now, this is somebody who is definitely, I think he's actually the cheapest person on this list in regards to limited and I believe in rare. Yeah, rare hitting at £8.30 and limited just at 64p, which is very, very nice indeed.
Yeah, again, someone that's got a lot of decisives to their name. He doesn't exactly hit the 90s and 100s, but 22 decisives in 38 games. I don't even think they're all MLS. If we just have a look at his MLS scores only, he's got 20 decisives in 31 games, which is perfectly fine for someone valued at £8, and he was £4 if you got him for £4 like me and Cap did, and that's well done. And obviously 65p in limited. So yeah, I think those scores are basically a bargain buy as we're doing on this video. I think he's sort of like the poster boy for the video, to be honest, with those scoring.
Yeah, bargain bucket. Yeah, we love that. I won't lie to you, viewers. He wasn't on my list. It was these chaps who brought him to the light, and yeah, you can see absolutely why his scores are crazy. So for 40, 50p in limited, you can't really go wrong. Montreal second game weekend is a good fixture. I believe a bit of international utility as well with Finland too, so that's always very, very nice.
Exactly, mate. And we're going to go again to the next midfielder, and it's going to be somebody a bit more well known within the space of MLS. We're going for Christian Espinoza. Obviously playing for San Jose Earthquakes in the limited scarcity. You're picking him up for £2.30, and then obviously in the rare here, just under £21.
Yeah, and looking at the scores, you wouldn't have thought that San Jose had a down season last season, really, would you? 18 decisive in 38 games with the new strike partnership as well of Martinez and Durango. I think you'll be seeing a lot more assists than 14. I think he's probably going to hit the 20s for assists. Going to do the Henri in the Prem and get, I reckon, 20 assists and 10 goals. What do we think? 34 decisives for the man.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
For the man even.
Yeah, I can see
I can see that. Yeah, they're expected to be a lot more efficient going forward this season. San Jose, especially with the players that they brought in, and I think Espinoza is going to be basically in the middle of that from the wing. So we'll see how they do. But yeah, I need to buy an Espinoza. I know Cap's got one, and he's someone that's been I've been eyeing up for a little bit. But yeah, very good value for money, and expected to do a lot better this season.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I think with the reinforcements they've made, it can only be more decisive with Espinoza. He's basically the heartbeat of the attack in that team. So if you've got better strikers, better quality strikers, to put it politely, he's going to get a lot more assists. Salt Lake City in the first game week, it's okay. Things do get better, but to be honest, with a player like this, home or away, he'll get the business done.
There we go. And maybe someone slightly more established, especially in regards to scores. For our next player, we've gone for Albert Rusnak, one that Jonesy knows because you've got that Seattle Sounders stack. He's currently £30 in the rare, not limited, don't worry about it. And a limited, he is at £5, which I believe, boys, is a bargain, and Jonesy will tell you why.
Yeah, it's a bargain. Look at his scores, man. 90 to 100 scores, with 3 of them being 100. The season before last, he had a down season. I remember Cap asking me if it was not going to be any better this season. I said, they've got rid of Ladero. He's going to be the only cam in the team. So he's going to be playing that attacking mid-role instead of playing deeper. He takes corners, and I believe he takes free kicks as well. He's not on penalties, so we'll take penalties out. But yeah, look at the decisive output and the AA that he puts with it. 15 AA on average. And that's not even removing the sub appearances. Plus 27 decisives, and Seattle is so strong. I do expect them to go far. I do expect them to go far every year, being a stack holder. But yeah, Rusnak is one of my favourite players in the MLS, and as you can see by the scoring, tells the whole story, to be honest.
Yeah, a top player. I think when you talk about class midfielders, you think of your Ricky Pooch. I mean, rest in peace, his ACL. But
I thought you were going to say he did.
But you're expected to spend quite a lot of money. So when you can spend under £5 and you're getting a player like this who just literally shits 100s, to put it frankly, it's amazing. His fixtures are decent, but very similar with Espinoza. He can do this home or away. But the consistent theme is the home fixtures. And I would probably say, chaps, if you've got him in your team, he's a captaincy shout as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. And I tell you who else could be a captaincy shout. Our next pick. There we go. Look at that segue, boys. Mihalovic here for Colorado Rapids of all teams. But again, Jonesy will talk about the scores in a minute, even despite being the team like that. £26 in the rare, and then limited, we're talking just £2.50 to have a player of this sort of quality.
Yeah, just like the Espinoza pick, he's one of those players that wasn't in the best of team last season, but still seemed to grind out 90 to 100 scores. I gotta admit, he wasn't in my 10. The boys, well, I don't think he was actually in anybody's 10. I think we just stumbled across him because I originally had Cole Bassett in, and we had a look at Colorado, and he was there. And you can't really turn away from 90 to 100 scores. So yeah, he's one of those players that I think Colorado are a little bit better this season. I don't think they signed too many players. Cole Bassett was back from injury. They've got Rowan in the midfield as well. So if they can just turn on a little bit more, especially away, because away they're atrocious, but at home they're actually quite good. I think Mihalovic can then again, he'll definitely hit the 24, 25 decisive mark again. So you'll see another 6 or 7, 90 to 100s. Perfect, really.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Jonesy. I think more so than other players, Mihalovic can, once he gets one goal, it kind of sets up a little hot streak for him. So just be aware of those hot streaks. Really try and jump on that. Colorado aren't the best team. Let's just hope they have a better season. But yeah, Mihalovic is definitely one to watch. Like you said, Jonesy, 11 goals, 10 assists. He's on penalties as well. I mean, you can't really go too wrong with that. £2.50, love it.
But that concludes the midfielders, lads. So we're going to go obviously show the viewers now our first forwards. And we're going to start off with one I sort of shown the boys. I know Josie, obviously you had him beforehand as well, but he's someone I've made you aware of in the last few weeks, and that's going to be Ty Baribo of Philadelphia Union. Now, again, obviously, when Carranza had left, he had filled in that place, and he filled it in pretty well. But talking about price-wise, £13 in the rare, and limited, you can get him for less than £1. So again, very solid.
Yeah, 22 decisives. Sorry, no, 18 decisives in 22 games. He does hit the peaks. He had a 95 last season, an 86 and 82. And he's just very good value for money for a forward. Under £1 in limited is crazy. And only £13 in rare. Be interested to see what his actual in-season price is when they start to sort of steady out. But yeah, I really like Baribo. He does share the striking spot with Ura, who's the Danish striker that plays alongside him. So yeah, them as a partnership, they should be very good again this season. Hopefully, Philly turn it around and make the playoffs again. They weren't as good last season as they can be. So yeah, he's a very good pick, very good value pick for people that don't want to go, out of the way and spend 35 quid on a pack, for example, when they can go and get a Baribo that can't do the exact same, but can definitely hit similar scores at points in the season.
Yeah, bang on. Yeah, I'll be completely honest. This guy definitely flew under the radar. So luckily, we're here. We're delivering the news. This guy's 80p unlimited. He's ridiculous. And like you said, I think the scores are only halfway through the season really when he took over. So hopefully they'll continue. He's part of a team which just produce lots of big chances. Hopefully Baribo is the guy that finishes those off.
Getting into our second to last pick then, lads, for the other striker, or the other forward, I should say, is a nice little rogue shout here. It's of Dennis Bowanga. Now, a lot of people will say, how's it a rogue shout? Again, Jonesy will explain in good time. But just for 42 quid, again, in rare, for very solid for the scores he sort of puts out, and also limited here for picking him up for just under £12. You can see his L40 is 61. He's obviously been at Los Angeles for quite some time now and hitting it every year.
Yeah, I think in my opinion, 39 decisive in 41 games. I think he's the closest thing you're going to get to a Pekka Messi without it being Pekka Messi. And yeah, I think £40 in rare is really, really good value for money, especially when you're looking at Pekka Messi being at like 200, 150. To get this guy for like a quarter or a third of the price is very strong. And again, LAFC, I don't know if they're going to do as well as they have done in the past, but whether they do or not, this guy bangs anyway. They didn't do great last season. He still put up amazing scores. And obviously their fixtures look okay coming forward. No CONCACAF this season, because obviously they didn't do as well last season. They usually do have like CONCACAF games where you can hit higher peaks. But yeah, again, he's always on the score sheet. Whenever they win, he's always got 1-2. He's got 3 decisives in multiple games. So he's one of those big scorers. And again, he's probably a captain choice. I mean, imagine having to choose between him and Rusnak for your captain choice. But yeah, that's our forward pick. That was my one anyway. That's one I put forward.
Yeah, I like that, Jonesy. I think, ex MLS MVP as well. So you've got a proven in and out forwards. He's just gonna get you goals in pretty much any game. One fixture I do like the look of, if you're next 10, Austin at home. I mean, that's got hat trick written all over it. So if that's not captaincy pick, I don't know what is.
Yeah, very solid. And boys, we're going to probably near enough end this video with the last pick. Obviously, if you're sad and you want to see more like this, though, make sure to like the video so we know for future to do more like this. And again, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But we're going for the good old Christian Ben Tekers, I like to call him anyway. Obviously, sitting here at the limited price at just £7, and also in the rare scarcity at £34. But as you can see, his L5, 15 and L4C speak for itself, 65, 66 and 61 respectively.
Yeah, so if we look at Benteke's scores, I think this was Ellis's pick. So 25 goals and 5 assists in 33 games. That's really strong for someone who was basically a failure at Palace. But yeah, comes to the MLS and dominates. I think one of the big things about his scores, if we have a look at a couple of the really high scores, is the duels won. He gets a ton of duels won, which is why he gets those massive scores. Yeah, 18 duels won in one game there against Minnesota. So we got 18 points of AA for just winning duels on his own. So yeah, he will hit those peaks due to those duels won against some of the weaker defenses, and that's one of the big sort of price points for him. Another one there, 14 duels won, 5 lost. That's just not massive score for a forward to get alongside the obviously 25 goals and 5 assists. I think he'll do the same again this season. I can't remember if DC have actually signed anybody midfield forward.
Not that
No,
I'm not too sure.
I know they let the goalkeeper go and brought a new goalie in, but I can't think of anybody going forward. So I think it's similar scores again this season. He's still going to get those duels won, and he's still going to get those goals and assists.
Yeah, he's just a big aerial threat, isn't he? I watched a couple games last season just to see what he's really playing like. But pretty much with DC United, it all runs through Benteke. They're literally just trying to find him, balls in the box, which is probably why he wins so many duels. And then just on the Soren note, if you've got a player who's scoring, getting decisives, you need that AA to go with it to really get in that top bracket. And that's what Benteke does. His average AA is like 15 plus. That's pretty good. Obviously, you can go quiet, but most strikers do. But as we mentioned earlier, if you don't have Peck, if you don't have Messi, you're going to want someone like this guy up front. Right, guys, hope you enjoyed that video. It's been a pleasure for us. We absolutely love the MLS. So if you did, drop a like, comment if you've got any feedback as well. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Peace.